Hi everyone, Natasha here, and I have been putting off making a video because I keep telling myself, well, the light is not very good, so I can't make a video. But actually I've realized that in order to just speak to you, I just need a camera, and the light doesn't even have to be that good. So I'm basically putting aside my need for each video to be perfect and actually just getting in front of a camera and beginning to talk to you guys again. So I'm sorry about the light, and hopefully, yeah, my next video I'll get a chance to do during the daytime. And so today I wanted to talk more about meditation. For me, I love meditation, and actually yoga and the physical postures in yoga, their main aim is to open the body to, I guess, really a range of motion that makes it accessible for the body to sit in stillness for long periods. So it's really, yoga is a path towards meditation, and meditation is, I find, where all the change occurs. We can get immense benefit and immense transformation in yoga, physical yoga. But when we get to meditation, when we get to this point where we're actually really ready and open, not only physically in our body, but also mentally and spiritually, like energetically able to sit and to gain benefit from meditation, then all the change occurs. I mean, I've had insane experiences in meditation. One of them I wrote about actually in a blog a few years ago. So if you're interested in reading more, then I'd head to natashakerryyoga.com, and there's a blog that's all about my meditation awakening. And it was a really powerful experience. So yeah, I highly recommend that you check in with that blog and read more about it if you're interested. And meditation, maybe if you're a beginner to meditation, is great for those who are keen to just start meditation only. You may not even have an interest in doing yoga positions. Perhaps you have injuries. So yeah, you could definitely begin with meditation. I know a lot of people and a lot of clients actually that come for the more meditative practices only. With meditation, you do have to have a very comfortable seat. So you could sit on a chair if you're first beginning, or if you're able to sit cross-legged on the floor, which is actually quite an advanced pose, then that is preferable. So you just need a cushion, really. I mean, you could take any cushion from your couch and place it under your seat so that you can rock your knees a little lower than your hip points, if possible. And this will mean that the energy flow is a lot more free and doesn't stagnate in the pelvis, but actually can move down the legs. Also aids blood flow and any kind of tension or cramping around the hips themselves. I would say when you first begin, definitely listen to an audio. So it could be Headspace. Headspace is amazing. Or any other app, or audio or video. There's loads of free ones on YouTube, and I hope to make some meditations for this channel very soon. So that will be coming. And yeah, I would say that using an audio is preferable and beneficial, because then you can relax in the experience and be led by somebody else. Then after a while, you may learn a certain technique that you can then use in your meditation without needing a teacher there. So that could be the technique of breath awareness, or watching the movement of the breath through the nostril and down the throat. And there's also a kind of a benefit really of mantra. So if you have one short sentence and you say that over and over again, and I know that some forms of meditation use that, so that's actually very beneficial to concentrate the mind. But yeah, breath awareness is super simple, and you can use that in any meditation that you do at home. Even if you're being led, you can keep returning to your breath movement. When we return to our breath, it's actually a really radical act. And I always say this in my classes, that returning to your breath is returning to the present moment. Because we're so often in all of our yesterdays or all of our tomorrows that we forget to exist and to just be in the present moment. So yeah, returning to your breath is an amazing way of returning to what is right now, what is of the moment. Because you're always breathing in the moment that you're in. The breath that you take is the present one. And when we begin to watch our breath, what we do is we turn our attention inwards. So often our attention is outwards. So we're looking out to external people, places, devices, and we are very outwardly focused. But then when we turn our attention inwards, we can then bring a quality of mindfulness to ourselves. And we could say, well, why bring attention to ourself? Why be self-obsessive? We may think we're being, self-obsessed if we're interested in ourselves. Well, actually, every part of life, so everything we see in front of us, we form an opinion of, we form a judgment, we create a certain reality. And that's always going to come from a biased place. It comes from within. We project from the inside out. And so when we gaze inwards and we go inwards and maybe even begin to change internally, then external reality changes. So the world that we live in begins to morph and change. Our thoughts may change. And most of our life experience is the thoughts that we have about the thing that we're experiencing. If you think most of life is really a series of reactions to things, and how we react to life changes when we do yoga. So it's actually a very positive thing to be interested in oneself, because then you improve your external life. You improve your ability to have connection with others in your life, and you also improve how you feel in life day to day. So yeah, I would say that there's nothing wrong with being healthily interested in oneself. Now, in meditation, when we sit in stillness, what we're really doing is learning to grow tolerance. So when we sit in stillness, it's actually a really powerful way of becoming patient or tolerant to oneself. And if you think when you first try to meditate, I remember, and I still do, if I have a period of not doing meditation for a while, then when I come back to it, I'm really fidgety. I'm like, oh, my shoulders and my back, and I can't settle. But then a few moments into it, make a conscious decision to sit through the uncomfortableness, to rest in stillness, even though I want to move or fidget or kind of adjust my position or not even do meditation and run away from it. And it's the sitting in stillness and the discipline that then allows us to grow tolerant to uncomfortableness. And once we become tolerant of our uncomfortableness, then it's allowed to be there. And whatever's allowed to be begins to morph and change. And it begins to slowly move into a very peaceful and more spacious experience most of the time. Yeah. So I would say, if you do feel uncomfortable, then apply a strength. It really is a strength or a power to overcome one's uncomfortableness. I know it's hard to do and easy to say, but yeah, try it. Try sitting in your uncomfortableness, and obviously if there's pain in joints, knees, hips, you always move. But if there's a kind of uncomfortableness, a kind of achiness, then stay with it, and you'll notice the more tolerant you become of the uncomfortableness, the more it begins to morph and shift. Yeah. I think also meditation, apart from allowing us to grow patient and more tolerant of ourself and our experience and where we're at, it also allows us to become more tolerant of others, because how we treat ourselves is how we often treat others, and vice versa. So yeah, it's kind of like a mirror for what's going on. Everything that's going on inside and how we relate to ourselves is also a mirror for how we relate to others and how we move through our day. And if we are not able to be tolerant of our own uncomfortableness, then as soon as we encounter someone who triggers us in some way, we're not going to have a sense of tolerance or patience or compassion for others. So our lack of intolerance for ourselves means that we then approach life in a certain resistance. Yeah. So the more we practice meditation, we get to really soften any resistance we have. And you will find that you actually get triggered less. You may have more patience for people and all of their beautiful imperfections. And everyone's human. Everyone is allowed to be human. It's their birthright. And people make mistakes. And so I think what yoga, and especially meditation, allows you to do is accept what is going on. It's more of a kind of allowing, as opposed to resistance or fighting against what's going on. So these are my thoughts on meditation. If you have any experience of meditation that you'd love to share, maybe it's just trying it the first time and being really uncomfortable, and yeah, maybe stopping after that one time, then hopefully you'll try again, and I will be uploading some meditations super soon. So hopefully we can meditate and sit together. Namaste.